Well, I'm so glad to have you with me on today. I want to welcome you into this program on today. So as you come in, if you're joining us, put your name and where you're watching from in this chat or the comments right now, because I love seeing who is in the room, and we are really excited today about this great opportunity that we have. And so we're getting prepared, getting ready, and it's extremely exciting today to be with you. Extremely exciting. I look forward to this every single opportunity we have to come in, because our goal here is very clear. We are looking to help you align your credit, your business, and your life so that the money can flow. And so I'm excited to have you come in, and we're going to get right into it on today. Whether you're watching this at this very moment, whether you're watching this days later, weeks later, months later, it's going to be relevant. It's going to help you level up so that the things you are intending to do, your goals, they get to happen. Now, let me ask you something before we get started. Have you ever applied for something, a loan, a credit card, a line of credit, and you got denied, and you had no idea why? No explanation, no real reason, just a simple no. Well, today I'm going to show you exactly why that keeps happening, and I promise you it has nothing to do with your credit score. Here's what we are covering today: the big myth about credit scores that most people believe. The hidden scorecard banks actually use before they say yes or no. The identity problem that makes you invisible to lenders. The life piece, your mindset, and how it blocks money before you even apply. And the alignment solution, how credit, business, and life have to work together. Now, this is important. This is not surface level credit talk. This is real system. So let's get right into this on today, because there is a huge myth out here. Here is the myth that almost everybody believes. If your credit score is good, you will get approved. That's what they taught us. That's what we grew up thinking. Get a good score, keep it high, and the money will come. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Your credit score is just the entry ticket. It's not the whole game. I've talked to people with 720 scores who got denied, 780 scores denied just this past week, even 800 plus, and still denied. And they are sitting there confused because they did everything right. So they think they paid on time. They kept their balances low, but the bank still said no. And the reason this keeps happening is because the score, that 3-digit number you've been chasing, is only one piece of a much bigger picture that banks are looking at. The score gets you in the door, but there is a whole other conversation happening behind that door that must keep you inside to get what you want. And the sad part about it is most people never see. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you today. So, what are banks really looking at? And this is important. The hidden scorecard. What is the bank actually looking at? Behind your credit score, there is a full picture. And that picture tells the bank a story about you. The question they are really asking is this: can we trust this person with our money? And will they pay us back? This is a question. Can we trust this person with our money? And will they pay us back? Let me break down what is in that picture that we're talking about. First, there is trended data, your overall financial behavior over time. Banks no longer look just at where you are today. They look at where you have been for the last 24 months. They call trended data, and FICO 10T is built around this concept. They want to know, are you paying your balances down? Or are you barely making minimum payments? Are your balances going up every month or coming down? These are the things they want to know, and they want to know them now concerning you. Your behavior over time tells them more than your score could. And this is critically important. You got to get this second one, because this second one is a game changer for so many people, and it just causes them to lose out. And I appreciate you, and for all that you're doing and saying right now, I appreciate you coming in. Listen, this is your debt to income ratio. Some people just call it your DTI. This one disqualifies people with great scores every single day. DTI is the ratio of what you owe each month to what you earn each month. If your monthly debt payments are too high compared to your income, it does not matter what your score is, they will say no. You could have an 800 credit score and still get denied because your income cannot support the new payment they would be adding. And number 3, utilization patterns. Banks look at how you use your credit, not just how much you have. Are you maxing cards out and paying them off? Are you carrying high balances month after month? Are you the kind of person who pays in full every cycle, a transactor? Or do you carry a revolving balance, a revolver? These patterns say everything about your relationship with money. Banks want to lend to people who have good money habits, not just good numbers. You see, that's something important. I want my entrepreneurs in the room to hear this. If you own a business, every single one of these factors applies to both your personal profile and your business profile. 2 scorecards, both of them matter. This is important. The question is, what does my full financial story look like to a lender? And so we've got to get this straight, and we got to understand this identity issue that exists. Now, I want to talk about something most financial educators do not touch, and I call it the identity problem. Banks lend to people and businesses that they can verify and trust. If your financial identity is thin, inconsistent, or mismatched, you are invisible to lenders. And invisible people do not, I repeat, they do not get funded. They don't get the credit cards. They don't get the lines of credit. They don't get the loans. Invisible people do not get what they're looking for from the financial system. So your personal financial identity is important. This is the depth of your credit history. How long have your accounts been open? Do you have a mix of credit types, credit cards, installment loans, lines? What does your banking behavior look like? Do you have anything flagged in check systems, the banking blacklist? Your personal identity is the foundation. If it's shaky, everything built on top of it is shaky too. Then your business financial identity. If you're watching and you own a business, you have a second identity you may not even know about, your EIN, your business banking history, your Experian business profile, your DUNS number, your Paydex score, your business trade lines that make up that Paydex score. Most business owners are running their company for years, and their business has no financial identity at all. No profile, no history, nothing for the lender to look at. You exist legally, but you do not exist financially. That is what I call the ghost business problem. You see, you got to get this. Do you know what your financial identity looks like to the bank right now? Those of you that are watching this, I want you to listen to that. Do you know what your financial identity looks like to the bank right now? I'm talking about your personal identity. How are you showing up to the bank personally? And if you're a business owner, how are you showing up to the bank as a business? Do you know? If your answer is no, that is not a failure. That is information. And now you know what you need to fix. You cannot build on a foundation you cannot see. The first step to getting funding or getting approvals is knowing exactly what your financial identity says about you. Now, I'm going to say this to business owners. Your personal identity and your business identity need to tell the same story. If they conflict, banks see risk, and risk means denial. So we got to get these both correct. You got to get the personal correct. And if you own a business, you got to get the business correct. Now, the life thermostat factor, something I love to talk about, and I'm going to keep talking about it until people really can grab a hold of it. I've saved this one for the middle of this program because it is the one that most people push back on the most. But I'm going to say it anyway because I know it is true. Nobody hardly in the traditional financial space will tell you this, but I'm going to tell it to you because I see it play out every single day. Your mindset has a dollar limit on it. I call that dollar limit the financial thermostat. But I'm going to repeat this because every one of you watching needs to hear it and you need to let it sit with you for days. Your mindset has a dollar limit on it. I want you to get that in personally. My mindset has a dollar limit on it. It is called the financial thermostat. Just like a thermostat in your house, it is set to a certain temperature, and no matter how high the heat goes, it will always bring things back down to where it is set. Your financial thermostat works the exact same way. You have a number in your head. Maybe you don't even know it's there. A number that represents what you believe you are worth financially. And anytime money, opportunity, or funding even gets close to that ceiling, you self-sabotage. You spend it, you procrastinate, you don't follow through on the application, you walk into the bank unprepared, even after doing all the credit work. This is not weakness. This is programming. And just like a thermostat, it can be reset. But the first thing you've got to do is realize I have a financial thermostat and it is my mindset, and my mindset has a dollar limit. How this shows up in real life is important. It shows up in your spending habits when you get close to a goal. It shows up when you're avoiding checking your credit report because you're scared. It shows up when you never actually submit the application because deep down you expect to be told no. And here is the thing, whether you expect yes or expect no, you are almost always right. This is not just a financial problem, it is a life problem. And this is why the L in my CBL Wealth Blueprint, life is not an afterthought. It is the foundation that holds credit and business together. If your life, the life component, is messed up, if your belief system about what you deserve is messed up, it makes no difference what we say about credit or business. You're going to hit a ceiling and self-sabotage and come back down. You can fix your score. You can build your business profile. But if the thermostat is not reset, you will find a way to end up back where you started. Reset the thermostat. Then the opportunities, the credit lines, the credit cards, the funding can actually stick. Now, what's the alignment solution? So now you know the full picture. It's not just your score. It's your financial behavior over time. It is your full identity, personal and business. It is your mindset and what you believe you deserve. The reason banks say no is almost always a misalignment, not a dead end. And misalignment, fortunately, can be fixed. The 3-step alignment game plan. I want to give it to you today because I want you to know the good news is that everything I was talking about can be fixed. You are watching someone who was in deep struggling because of the life component. What I didn't believe. What kept me starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and not applying, starting and not going as far as I could go. I believed it somewhere, but I didn't believe it. So let's get this down because I want you to overcome much faster. Step 1, know your full financial picture. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Pull your personal credit reports, all 3 bureaus. Listen to me. Know your debt to income. Know your utilization pattern. If you have a business, check your Experian business profile. Check your DUNS number to see what's my paydex score. Know what your business identity says. Listen to me. Awareness is the first act of alignment. I'm going to say it again. Awareness is the first act of alignment. And if you're like me, you are afraid to look at something. You are afraid to discuss something. It's been going on for a long time, but you don't want to touch it. You're afraid to touch it because somewhere on a deeper level, maybe you feel you don't deserve this great success that is yours for the taking. So awareness is the first act of alignment. Step 2, close the gaps. Once you see the picture, find the gaps. Is your DTI too high? Work on paying down balances before applying. Does your business have no profile? Start building business trade lines. Is your personal and business identity telling 2 different stories? Get them aligned. Make sure they support each other, not contradict each other. Banks want a clear, consistent story. Your job and my job is to tell it. Banks want a clear, consistent story. Your job and my job is to tell it. Step 3, reset the thermostat. This is the life work that people in these social spaces don't even want to talk about. They just want the fix that they think is about credit, the fix that they think is about their business, the fix that they think is about some new shortcut, some gimmick, some tip, some trick. I'm going to tell you something. If you don't fix this life part, it makes no difference what else you do. You're going to always be stuck at the ceiling that's not as high as you may think it is. Start with your belief. What do you actually believe you can receive? Journal it, work on it, talk about it, get help with it. That may even mean get a therapist that you can talk some things out, because listen, if you've got a great idea and concept and access and all that stuff, but inside you there's garbage that you believe about you, it's going to block the good stuff every single time. And I am a living witness that your success ultimately will have nothing to do with the idea you have, the access you have. It's going to come back to what you believe about you. Because you can do steps 1 and 2 perfectly and still walk into that bank carrying the belief that you will be told no. Reset the internal setting first. Then go get what you already qualify for. Credit, business, plus life equals the alignment that opens doors. I want you to get this. This is the CBL Wealth Blueprint. not just credit, not just business, not just mindset, but all three working together at the same time. This is when the answer from the bank starts to change. This is when it changes. Listen, let me share this with you because I believe today is your day to really begin a positive reset. I believe you are the person. I believe you have the idea. I believe that idea that you have is going to work. But here's what we got to do. We've got to stop sabotaging ourselves. We don't do the preparation because we don't believe it's going to work. We talk the big game, we go so far, and then we pull back. Privately, we never, ever believed it. Publicly, we say all kinds of things to people. But when we get with our own thoughts don't agree with the noise we've been putting out to other people about what we'd like to see and what we'd like to do. Listen, my friends, stop doing what the average person is doing. The average person is worried about the outside. I'm going to help you today because your real goal is to make sure the inside agrees with what you say you believe for the outside. Before it shows up in the world, it's got to show up in your belief system. You've got to believe it. And it's tough in these YouTube streets to tell people to journal, to tell people to discuss. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're watching me, hopefully you've been drawn here for a reason. And I am telling you, I was never held back for the lack of great idea. I was never held back for the lack of substance. I was never held back for the lack of talent. What ultimately was my ceiling was that somewhere in early life, I believed it was not for me. It made no difference how many days, weeks, months, and years I spent into it. I believed it was not for me. And the question today, as you watch me, is what do you believe about what you say you're trying to do? Do you believe you deserve it? Do you believe it is for you? Do you believe you saw it for a reason and so you have the right to now pursue it? Well, listen to me. I'm convinced it is for you. But before I let you go, I need to say something. Everything I shared with you today, this is the work we do inside the CBL Wealth Blueprint. If you're serious about understanding your full financial picture, building the kind of credit and business profile that actually gets you funded, it gets you approved for the things that you're trying to do in life to elevate, to scale, and resetting that internal ceiling that's been keeping you stuck, I love to work with you directly because the CBL Wealth Blueprint coaching program is here, and this is how we get to do it. We go deep into the credit, the business identity, and your life thermostat. We build an alignment strategy that is specific to you. Listen, you can reach out directly. It's in the links for the description of this great video. Here's something that's important today to me. What is the one thing from today that hit different for you? I'd like you to drop that in the chat. What's the one thing that you've heard today that hit a little bit different than maybe any other time in your life? Are you at the point right now we're hearing something about your credit, something about your business identity, your financial identity, or the life component has hit different for you today? If it has, drop it in the chat. I like to read every one of them. And if you're watching this on a replay, give me a comment. What hit different today? What did you actually hear maybe for the first time today? And what is it that you're going to do when this is all said and done? That's going to be the proof that you really heard something today. Listen, I love seeing the light come on. That's exactly why I do this every week. I don't do this chasing resources. I'm a man on purpose. I've been processed and I've been through some things. And so when I speak to people, whether it's personal or whether it's corporate, I love the reality that you're hearing from someone who is not disconnected from the message. I have lived the CBL Wealth Blueprint, and the life component was the biggest obstacle I had to overcome. I want to leave you with this today. The bank's answer is not your final answer. Alignment changes every single thing. Well, I'm Dwayne, the Success King. This is the CBL Wealth Blueprint. We're talking credit, business, and life. I so look forward to seeing you here each and every time you come in, whether it's live or whether you are watching this replay. I look forward to your great comments. But today, what I'm looking forward to the most is your being inspired to get up and do something that moves this needle and moves you forward in credit, business, and life success. You deserve it, my friend. Go after it with all you have. Now listen, have an absolutely awesome day today. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Be blessed.